ending things over social media disagreement. So to sum up a longish story, my 22 meters, girlfriend 19F has been sneaking onto my phone and unfollowing people, girls, as she pleases. This includes co-workers, friends, girlfriends of my guy friends, and some ex-flings. I do not care at all that she unfollows any exes or anyone I've been involved with. However, the co-workers/friends kind of bothered me, as they have always just been acquaintances/friends and nothing romantic whatsoever. She has also read through pretty much all my texts/messages on all platforms with my guy friends and has based her reasoning for unfollowing/blocking certain people off of comments me and my friends had made in private group chats years ago, long before I even knew her, on top of reading private conversations where friends and I have confessed personal stuff to one another. I told my girlfriend I kind of considered this a breach of privacy and she said I was wrong for thinking that, and if we are together she should be able to do as she pleases. I recently followed back a few of my friends and co-workers, and she is now saying she is done with me because I chose these girls and such over her, even though I've explained that all I've done is refollow/unblock some female friends, who have only ever been friends. According to her, this means I chose them over her and now she can't be with someone who would do that. Am I in the wrong here, and is she right that she should be able to unfollow/block whoever makes her uncomfortable? Too long didn't read. Girlfriend unfollows and blocks people on my phone and reads through messages with everyone. I disagree with this and she now says we should break up because of it. Confession, I did this in my first real relationship around your GF's age. But I had issues, past trauma and a cheating BF. What your GF is doing isn't healthy. Period. If she can't understand that through a calm discussion, then you guys can't have a good relationship. If she doesn't break up with you, you need to break up with her. None of this is normal or healthy. Thank God she broke up with you because she saved you a miserable relationship with a controlling, narcissistic, mean, intrusive, selfish, insecure, unpleasant person. She had absolutely no reason to go through your phone, and less rationale for unfollowing people you may be close to. And to be honest with you, I find it a bit psychotic of her to read through years-old messages and unfollow people based on that. I can't imagine what reasoning she had for doing that, but it's invalid and not worth listening to. If she hasn't broken up with you and only hinted at it, please make the first move and end things with her. She's not worth the misery she will bring to your life. This person is controlling and rabidly insecure. Why do you want to be with someone like that? This isn't a social media problem. This is an insecurity, controlling, jealousy, violation of privacy problem. This isn't some minor "oh my girlfriend doesn't like how often I post on social media." It's say my girlfriend doesn't respect any of my boundaries and thinks it's totally okay to give me no privacy whatsoever. You're better off without her. Mill won't take no for an answer. Too long didn't read. How do I get my controlling Mill off of our backs during the holidays? We just want to spend time alone. Has anyone dealt with a Mill who doesn't accept or respect boundaries? My fiance and I received a very long-winded email outlining exactly how we are spending Christmas in our own home. We cannot visit anyone due to bylaw, not that we would anyway. He and I had already decided we wanted to relax and spend the day together, calling them at some point, so say hello. Her email explained that we would be calling them via Zoom at 11 AM to open gifts, and we are not allowed to open any gifts until then. She also mentioned that this time has been very hard on her and to please cooperate. Unfortunately, this has been going on for years. So, my fiancé tried to explain to her that we had already decided what we were doing on the day, and she responded saying that she was just asking for 30 minutes and to put pants on and let them know when we were ready. Cannot handle the blatant disregard. At this point we don't know what to do aside from being flat out rude or eliminating holidays with her altogether. It puts so much stress on our relationship. Help. Arguing with brick walls. Remember Jade? Do not justify, argue, defend, explain anything. We are available at this time. For these times we have plans. I'm sorry you feel that way. Thanks for your understanding, even if she doesn't. We all need to adjust to these difficult times. Don't treat her like a person. Her feelings are her weapon, so ignore those until she respects yours, which could take a long time. Edit. Additionally, maybe to help your partner see things, explain to him how guilt is a tool that works, and demonstrate examples of her using that tool! Exclamation mark. I mean, in your position, after you've tried to explain, I'd meet blatant disregard with blatant disregard. Do what you want. Actually, we had never thought about that. My fiance is very worried about upsetting her since she makes such a fuss. But you're right, thank you! Exclamation mark. We did, for years, finally set boundaries with her, and now it's much better. We stated our boundaries and the consequences and followed through. We left gatherings. We hung up the phone. We ignored emails and texts. No one is entitled to your time. You decide what you want to do and communicate that. You are not responsible for her reactions. This one is super easy. Except that it is super hard. In truth, she wasn't just asking for 30 minutes and to let her know when you are ready. You don't need to be flat out rude. You need to learn not to say, well, much at all. I'm sorry that does not work for us. You state, not ask, what you are going to do. Then you disengage. Do not argue, explain, or give her any means of countering and pressuring you. What is the worst fuss she can raise that can't be solved by turning off the sound on your phones? Just don't. Like, don't Zoom. Open presents when you want. Call when you want, and hang up if she makes a stink. That's it. That's all. Lonely husband. Lonely husband. My husband, 30M, and I, 26F, had a baby recently and wanted to move out of the city. A job opened up in his field near my family, so we moved there and bought a house. My husband doesn't know anyone here and works from home due to COVID, so rarely leaves the house, and I think it's making him depressed or just constantly unhappy. I grew up in the area, so I still have friends and family here, who I'm not seeing often due to COVID but still talk to, so the situation is a lot different for me. Plus I'm on maternity leave, so have time to go on walks with our neighborhood moms, etc. He was always the type to be happy with a few very close friends rather than a large group. But now they are spread out across the country, since we moved, and some of them have moved. He was playing sports in the winter, but all of that has shut down now, due to COVID of course. He refuses my requests to go for walks, either with me or by himself, to get outside, to get some form of exercise. I think this would really help, but he uses his off-work time to scroll on his phone and play video games. How can I help him get settled in the community and start taking better care of himself? I'll admit that sometimes I'm annoyed because I feel he isn't putting in the effort, but I would rather redirect that energy to supporting him. Thank you. Too long didn't read. We moved and husband is lonely/unhappy in our new community. How can I support him? Firstly, you're a good wife for reaching out for advice on how to help your husband. It's clear you really love him, heart. I've seen some good ideas already on neighborhood groups and churches, but perhaps it would be cool to schedule a virtual happy hour with his friends across the country. Maybe, if he's into sports at all, a local fantasy sports league, or a local place for people to come watch sports games. For example, my hubby's college team, we live in another state than where he went to college, has a local bar/restaurant where people can come watch together, COVID allowing and safety. Good luck to you and hubby. Love these ideas. Thank you so much. Does he know any neighborhood dads? I know that when I took my daughter to the playground, pre-COVID, every weekend the playground was full of dads. Maybe he could take the baby for a walk and meet some new friends. If he's a good dad to the baby, and it sounds like he is, you can say it's for the baby. This is a good idea. We're in a pretty small town, so very high chance that no one will be at the park, lol, but worth a shot. I see a lot of shaky advice about ultimatums and shit that I don't like. He sounds depressed. What has he actually said about how he is feeling? Your prompt describes a lot of your thoughts about your husband's behavior, and it sure does sound like depression, but what does he actually have to say about the move and how he's been feeling? He seems unhappy, says he can't do activities we used to do because of the baby, occasionally will mention how all of his friends are far away. Some of the time things are okay, but I would say majority of the time, he is stressed, from work or home life, or withdrawn. This sounds like a situation of depression that may benefit from professional treatment, medication, therapy, etc. You have a very reasonable need for him to be able to take care of himself. This is especially important because you guys just had a baby and it's so hard to raise a kid without being a functioning team. It's also hard on his end to be experiencing such a heavy depression. Getting a therapist/psychiatrist/both on board may be helpful, as well as finding solutions that can help him manage his lack of motivation. I recommend looking up executive function hacks on YouTube/Google/etc. These are mainly for ADHD/autism, but they are helpful for anyone that has trouble functioning and getting things done. Thank you for your input. I think I should clarify. He definitely does help with the house and the baby. Maybe taking care of himself wasn't the right turn of phrase. I would like for him to get back into exercising and going outside once in a while, as I think it would help him mentally and physically feel his best. I cook for the family so he eats well, but I think movement is an important part of overall well-being. I will look up those hacks. And this is out of my control, but he would never agree to see a therapist. So trying some lighter touch solutions. I do agree with you that speaking to someone can benefit pretty much any situation, but we're not on the same page there.